Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiam and Akwathe. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to bring forth a real brief lesson, a brief warning. Um, Bear with me, I'm in a construction site. Now, just a brief heads up for those of you that don't know. Uh, Let me see here. All right, the State Department. All right, this is a news station, right? So the State Department issued a worldwide caution, security alert. All right. The State Department said that there may be actions against U.S. interests. Iran has said it will retaliate against the U.S., and we know this, right? The DHS also issued a national uh, T, all right. I'm gonna just say a national terrorism advisory service system bulletin. So it'll be wise of us to just be on our p's and q's, keep our heads on the swivel. While we're out here doing our thing, our daily motion. Going to work, having to have to go to the grocery store, whatever, we're going to work out, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Hey, at camp, we have to be on extra high alert now at camp, just moving through the spirit, because, hey, we're in that time now where anything can happen at any time, okay? Anything can happen at any time, okay? And you already know this damn devil deems us tease, you know? So we just got to make sure we're operating through the spirit, being circumspect, vigilant, and just pretty much staying on guard, man. Letting the spirit lead us. Being tapped to the spirit more than ever before. Because we're in that time. We're in that time, man. The Lord's creeping. The Lord's creeping up on these people, man. You know. These people are in a. You got Jake. In this delusional state of mind. They just celebrated Juneteenth. They're getting ready for July 4th. I know you got family members excited about July 4th. It's like here it is with everything that's going on. They're still tapped into the spirit of Babylon, not realizing um, the danger that they're actually in. But this is the way these Babylonians, these Westerners get down, though. They're they're settled on their leads. They're very laid back. Their mind state is that nothing can ever happen to Babylon. They think they're in the safe zone. They think they're in the safe zone for whatever reason. You know, they can't be touched. But we're living in a time. See, we understand. We're living in a time now. It's not the 1950s, bro. All right, it's not the 1950s. Technology has changed the game. All right, and you got these nations. Bear with me. You got these you got these smaller nations. That have now came up on the level. Due to the advancement of technology, man. So there's more than one way this place can get touched. Whether there be splinter cells within the country, which we know there is, without a doubt. You know, or they attack the grid. You know, or what have you. Things are gonna happen. Things are about to happen. There's no doubt about that. But we understand this because why? We're watching and we're tapped in. Let me get this real quick. This is the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I run unto you," man. Apostle Paul said, "You have no need that I run unto you. You already know what's going on. You already know what it is. At least you should. You should. You know. At least you should. Right? For yourselves know perfectly, man, that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, man. Okay? For those that are not watching, for those that are not paying attention, for those that are, not tapped into the prophecies. You see, because Isaiah 33 and 6, when it's talking to, wisdom and knowledge being the stability, of our time and the strength of salvation, that's talking about the wisdom and knowledge of these prophecies, man. You see, we being exposed to the understanding of what Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is about to do. That's the Lord put us on game. Okay, that's like a shooter. All right, coming to a party, and brothers use this example many times. All right, and he whispers in your ear, unless you know, yo, bro, we're about to turn it up in here. You might want to go out the back door. You see, that's likened unto what Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua did for us, was giving us the understanding and opening us up to the thoughts and intents of His heart through these prophecies, man, these oracles. You see, so through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, hey, we understand what's happening. We understand what's about to happen. And if we're measuring the times diligently through the Spirit, the Lord will. That's the Lord guiding and guarding us, man. But you gotta hearken to the Spirit. You gotta, it won't be a bad idea, to have extra water at the crib. Some non-perishables. With the understanding that that's not your salvation. But with the understanding that that's the time we're in right now. Where the lights go out, power's out for 3 days, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Lord's gonna provide, without a doubt, hands down. Miracles are gonna be on display. But that doesn't mean we're, in a mind state of just like being careless. We're supposed to operate with prudence. The scripture says the prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, man. So we gotta operate through prudence, through wisdom. Understand the times that we're in. Let's continue on. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. Okay, so this thing's gonna spill over into just all out chaos, man. And when it does, for a lot of our people, it's gonna be too late. For a lot of you, Jake, man. You're playing games. You're tapping into these live streams. You're tapping into the pre-recording videos. You're stumbling upon camps. And what are you doing with those opportunities? You're pulling away at the shoulder. You're being a nigger. Not realizing that you hearken into the report. Could very well save your life. Man, let me get this real quick. Let me prove that. When you go to the book of Matthew, yeah, here we go. The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 40. This is red letter Yahweh Shai speaking. He that receiveth you, receiveth me. And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me, man. Okay, and how do you receive a prophet? By hearkening to the report. All right, that's why Isaiah 53 says what it said. Who hath believed our report, man? our doctrine. Okay? See, a lot of you, Jake, don't understand and realize that the doctrine, that's your covering, man. That's how you're going to be covered, the understanding of the doctrine, understanding of these prophecies. You see? 1 Timothy 4 proves that in the last verse. You see? But no, you got it all figured out. Not realizing how detrimental it's going to be to you. Okay? When you're in a position where you need the Lord Yahweh Shai. You know, you see these northern kingdomers, and I'm being facetious when I say it like that, but you see Issachar, you know, you see um just our brothers, you know, on the northern kingdom side, you know, Asher, um, you know, so-called El Salvadorian, you know, you see how people getting caught up at work, you know, they're getting caught up at anywhere and everywhere, school. You see, they're in a position where they need Yahweh Shai, but because they don't got him, they're getting consumed and snared, and then falling into the trap of the fowler, okay, which is Esau. All right, they don't have Yahweh Shai, so they're falling victim to the judgment. You know, Jake has heard this report, and it's only gonna go on for so much longer because Amos 8's about to manifest. Amos 8 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this thing's about to be wrapped up. The ministry's about to be wrapped up. You know, so you, Jake, have this mindset like, you know, things are gonna last forever. You know, nah, man. All good things must come to an end. You know, and say you do come across a man of the Lord, you know, whether it be in a FEMA detention center or in the wilderness. The Lord said He's gonna cleave our tongues to the roof of our mouths, man. You're gonna be left, all right, with Jeremiah 15, one on down. That's what you're gonna be left with. You know, one of those four sword judgments are gonna rest upon you, man. Because that's all that's gonna be left for you. You didn't hearken, you didn't listen. You know, those doors of mercy have closed on you. You know, because hey, this is the time we're in, man. Hey, at the end of the day, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you know, we understand that the multitude, you know, is gonna perish because they were born in vain. So we're not losing sleep at night. You know, we're not losing sleep at night for you two-third reprobate renegades. All right, you two-thirds so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that you know, that wanna pull away at the shoulder and refuse to stop in your steps, man, and inquire and understand that you're in error. You know, but through the spirit, this is the lot you must play. But the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for allowing us to be, you know, in the inner courts, Lord willing, He allows us to stay. You know what I mean? We don't get casted away, man. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, Lord willing, He keeps us, man. Because we're so close, it's scary. You know, our salvation is nearer than what we believe, man. Prophecy speaking, all right? And Esau is doing doing drastic things. You know, drastic times call for drastic measures. He's taking it there. You know, understanding that he's running out of time, man. So yeah, Akiyam and Akwad, I just wanna, you know, bring that piece of information out real quick through the spirit, going into the Department of State. You know, so there you have it, man. Hey, we here. You know, stay circumspect, man. Stay under the radar, man. Move through the spirit. You know, and I'm speaking to the choir for those of you beloved Akiyam and Akwa that are already moving wise, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But I'm gonna leave you with that. Hey, Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwa will edify. Hey, have a blessed day. Hey, and may Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai guide you. All right, bless you, protect you, you and your family, and Lord willing, hey, we get to stay in the house, man. Hey, Lord willing. And I'm gonna leave you with that. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwa. Hey, Shalom.